and I got married at a young age, okay? We met at 19, were engaged by 20, and married by 21. And every time I tell people that, they automatically assume shotgun wedding. But that's a pretty bold assumption just because her ass got knocked up. I mean, I could see if it was my baby. Just kidding, it was my baby she pinky promised. I had no car, no license, warrants for my arrest in multiple counties, and all of my belongings fit inside a hefty trash bag. How do I know that? Because that's where I kept them, motherfucker. So, not the type of guy you want to bring home to mom and daddy. But she did, and then they moved my ass in. So, terrible decisions were made across the board. Looking back, I don't even think they knew we were dating. I think they just thought they were sheltering the homeless. But the first time I ever saw my wife, she was working as a cashier at this grocery store. I went through her line every single day for 4 months until she agreed to go out with me. And that sounds sweet until I tell you that for the first 3 of those months, I didn't even fucking speak to her. I was too scared, so I would just be standing there like this, smiling, as she scanned the same pack of gum every day, because it was the only thing I could afford on a regular basis. Well, one day she breaks the silence and she was like, "Wow, you sure do chew a lot of gum." And I freaked out. I sounded just like radio. I was like, yeah, I like gum. Then I ran out. Well, she looked at one of the other cashiers and she was like, "What the hell was wrong with him?" It just so happened to be a girl I went to school with, and she was like, "Girl, he's just crazy." She meant crazy as in I was wild back then, but my wife thought she meant I had Down syndrome. Which sucks, but it opened up the door for more conversation. Honestly, I think that's why we've lasted this long, because I never told her any different. I think she just feels sorry for me. People are always coming up to me like, "Damn, how'd you get such a good-looking wife?" I'm like, "Same way I got that front row parking spot, buddy. Now keep it moving." I don't know what it is, honestly, because I've never been a romantic guy. Hell, even our engagement sucked. I proposed to my wife on a Tuesday at 10:26 in the morning, in an apartment we weren't even living in yet. It's like I wanted her to say no. I remember calling my mom. I was like, "Guess who got engaged?" And she was like, "Oh my God, when? This past weekend? Why didn't you call and tell me?" I was like, "No, it's just now. That's why I'm calling. I'm telling you." But it's not a proper engagement unless you go out and celebrate, which is why I took her ass straight to Olive Garden. Because I still had a gift card my nana gave me for Christmas. But then we had to sit in the parking lot for 20 minutes because they didn't open till 11. We get inside, the waitress comes up and she was like, "What are we celebrating today, guys?" I was like, "We just got engaged." She was like, "Oh my God, when? This past weekend?" I was like, "No, bitch, like 15 minutes ago." Now go get the salad. But you see, my wife didn't give a shit about that. And I thought it was because she loved me, but as it turns out, it was just because she didn't have anything else to compare it to. Because as we got older and all her other friends started getting engaged, and Sarah's up in New York, and Bethany's in Key West, and Susie's ass got flown out to Spain, I'm seeing all this shit play out. I'm just like, fuck, man. My stock is going down. I couldn't handle it. I had a mental breakdown. Not immediately, because it was nothing she ever said. This was something I built up in my own mind and let go on for just a little bit of time. Like 4.5 years. Until one day the garage door started making this weird sound, and I was like, "I'll go out there and fix it." Now the problem with that is, 1, I was heavily intoxicated. 2, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So I get mad, and I just start trying to make a lot of noise. So I'm out here beating on this thing with a hammer, just tang, 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 tang. Then my wife comes outside, and she's like, "Are you okay? Is something wrong?" I was like, "Oh yeah, everything's fine out here." And she was like, "Okay." And she went back in. I just start beating on this shit some more, just tang, 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 tang. So she comes back outside. She's like, "Are you sure you're okay? I feel like you just want to talk about something." But I don't like talking about my feelings, so I was like, "Nope, I don't want to talk about shit." So she goes back in, and I end up tearing the whole motherfucking garage door down. So, now she's pissed. She storms back outside, and she's like, "What the hell's wrong with you? What's going on?" I was like, "You didn't like our engagement." That confused her, because like I said, it had been about 4.5 years. She's like, "What?" I said, "All your friends did all this razzle-dazzle shit, while me and you just had brunch with breadsticks." She said, "I don't give a damn about that. I got something that they ain't got, and that's you. That's all that matters to me." Which is really sweet. But then she said, "I don't even remember what they did on their engagement. But Time Hop on Facebook does, and you better believe they share that shit every year. You let me not take the trash out that week, all of a sudden she turns into a broken septic tank, just starts bringing up all kinds of old shit." We'll be going down the road. I'm like, what do you want to eat today, my beautiful, sweet angel gift from God? She's like, I don't know, Nana, give you another gift card? I was like, what the fuck? She's like, I mean, why go to Spain when you can have unlimited salad and breadsticks? And I'm just like, yeah, that's the spirit. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, fellas, if you're thinking about proposing to your lady, don't. I'm just talking shit. I can honestly say during that time of my life, I was making a lot of fucked up decisions. That wasn't one of them. Best I ever made. And I'm not just saying that so she'll do that thing I like later with my kid's vibrating frozen toothbrush, but I hate the movie, but Elsa sure does know how to help me let it go.